Greetings of peace and goodwill. Welcome to the demo teaching video of Earth and Life Science with the topic Homeostasis, Types and Components. I am teacher Gian, the presenter for today. And let us now begin. This is the world of change, and it is actually the name of the game. The world changes, we adapt, and we survive. Organisms have to make adjustments and adapt to certain changes in weather, temperature, geological, physiological changes, and even the changes in the technology of human beings. Organisms are affected by that. But there are some factors and mechanisms that need to stay the same and stable, balanced. Bodily processes in our body do not change overnight. pH levels and temperature need to be constantly checked inside. Hormones have a great effect on us if it's balanced or not. And our biological composition needs to be kept in check. The percentage of fat, percentage of sugar in our body. It is really a delicate balance of life that our body plays. And how does it do it? Welcome to Earth and Life Science with the topic Homeostasis, Types and Components. Our objectives for this time: first, to describe the process of homeostasis. 2, differentiate the two types of feedback loops. And 3, enumerate the components of a homeostatic system. So, there are factors in our environment and bodies that need to be kept in a particular amount. Things like our temperature. Average temperature of human beings is 37 degrees Celsius. Anything higher than that can be deadly. Anything lower than that can be dangerous as well. Our body maintains its internal balance by adjusting its physiological values. The nutrients in our blood, the bacteria that we have in our skin and in our gut, and even our breathing and pulse. Those are normal vital signs. Those normal vital signs are signs of balance inside our body, that it is working well and into an optimal level. Blood pressure, breathing, and pulse are actually good indicators if you are living healthy. The process of our body to maintain its balance and stability is called homeostasis. Homeostasis is the tendency of the body to again maintain internal stability. We might not able to change the environment from the outside, but we can actually balance out what's on the inside in order to adjust and survive in its environment. So, two organ systems are mainly responsible for homeostasis. First is the nervous system. When you are in danger in short-term situations, like for example, fire, the temperature getting too hot, too cold, nervous system provides quick responses to stability. When you are changing, and there are changes also in your body in the long term, the endocrine system has glands and hormones to regulate its functions. Things like puberty, pregnancy, growth, having wounds, having sicknesses, endocrine system actually takes care of that. These two organ systems partner with each other to maintain the condition of optimal functioning, to make our body perform at its best, and includes many variables. Their mechanisms usually happen in 3 parts or components. So homeostasis happens in different parts. But first is the stimuli. When you say stimuli, it's not written here. It's a change or a signal from the environment or inside your body. The receptor accepts the information regarding those changes. Our sense organs, like for example, your skin, temperature receptors in our skin as well, photoreceptors in our eyes, accepts those information. The control center then processes these information, may it be the brain or different glands in your body, and sends the signals to the effector. Effectors are the parts of our body that responds to those stimuli and bring about the changes necessary to balance internal factors. You can analogize receptor, control center, and effectors into computers, IT stuff. Receptors are the input, in which input devices in which they accept information. Control center can be the main processing unit, your CPU, in which it processes the information. And effector can be the output devices that you have on your computer. Monitors, headphones, that bring about those necessary changes or outputs to balance the body. To achieve homeostasis, the body adapts through two kinds of feedback mechanisms. First is positive feedback. Positive feedback induces internal change in your body by intensifying the body's physiological condition, adding more hormones, adding more sugar, adding more fat, adding more substance in order to maintain something or to change something in your growth, development, making antibodies is a kind of positive feedback. Negative feedback prevents internal change in your body by counteracting it in the body's physiological condition. If it feels too hot, our body does something to reduce the temperature. If we feel too hungry, our body does something to satiate us using our extra energy reserves. So let us now continue with negative feedback. Negative feedback prevents change by counteracting the instability in the body's physiological condition. Examples of those are sweating and glucagon and insulin to regulate sugar. Let me explain them step by step in the context of homeostatic process. First is the stimulus when it comes to sweating. Heat, of course, increases the body temperature. Our receptors in our skin, thermoreceptors, will receive the stimuli that your body's getting hot and transfer the information to the control center, which is the brain. The brain then sends signals automatically and activate the sweat glands in the same skin to induce sweating, reducing the body temperature. So sweating will surround your skin with liquid that will absorb the heat instead of your body. Alright? So if you're thinking that you're sweating automatically because of the heat, actually there's more to that. There would be a process in which the signal is sent to the brain first before sweating. Now, another example would be blood sugar regulation. Stimulus would be a high blood sugar. When you eat too much sweets, too much carbohydrates, there's a high concentration of glucose, blood sugar in your blood. And it can be dangerous if done in the long term. So the body has to balance it out using the liver. The liver will then receive the stimuli and transfer the information to the brain. And then the brain will send signals to the pancreas. The pancreas is the gland that releases insulin. And insulin is responsible for converting the sugar that you ate into fat. So it needs to do that in order to avoid getting complications from having a high blood sugar. Remember, too much is always poisonous to the cells. Same goes with sugar. If your blood gets too much sugar, it can be very dangerous too. So the body needs to balance that. Again, negative means no change, therefore maintaining the internal balance in your body. Other examples of those are sleep-wake cycle. When you're sleepy, body's tired, brain sends melatonin to make you asleep. When you have to wake up, brain sends cortisol to stress you out and wake you up. When you're thirsty, the body sends ADH or antidiuretic hormone in order to avoid releasing water. And aquaporins if you have to release water. Now let's go to positive feedback. Positive feedback, on the other hand, induces change by intensifying the factors in your body's condition. Increasing something is the name of the game in positive feedback. Childbirth and clotting of blood are main examples of those. Let me start with childbirth. When the baby is growing up to 9 months, it reaches a certain size in which its size is too much for the uterus to handle, and therefore it breaks the water sac, or in Tagalog it's panubigan. There's a water sac that sends signals to the cervix that it's time to deliver the baby. The baby has grown enough, and therefore the brain will send signals to the pituitary gland to release a certain chemical called oxytocin. This hormone will cause contractions, stress the uterus in order to release the baby. So, another example is blood clot. When you get wounded, a break in the blood vessel will be the stimulus. And the platelets will receive that stimuli that something is gushing out outside your skin. And they will cling to the site of injury and release chemicals prompting other platelets to do the same. And when they get together, the effector is that they would clot the blood, blocking it and avoiding further injuries and infections. So remember that positive means yes to change. It changes something. In the context of pregnancy, you need to change that the baby needs to get out. In the context of blood clot, we need to change that situation in which you are wounded. We need to heal that. So again, other examples are growth. We need to change your height. We need to change your body composition, growth, adaptive immunity. We need to change our situation in which our body fights infection. It learns how to fight it through making antibodies. So positive means changing something. Let's try it out. Determine if the following are examples of positive or negative feedback loops. 1. Sweating. That one's negative. Pregnancy enables milk production. Positive. Releasing salts and fluids to balance pH and blood chemistry. Negative. There's the word there, balance. Hormones during puberty help you grow and develop. Positive. Releasing estrogen to induce fertility. It's positive. Induce is the word there. To make you fertile, to change you. Number 6. Slowing down metabolism when hungry. That one is negative. To balance you out. So again, here are examples of negative feedback. Sweating, slowing down metabolism, and releasing salts and fluids, by urinating. So that's the concept of negative feedback, balance. Other examples for positive feedback are making you grow and develop through hormones, milk production, and fertility. You're not always fertile all the time. There are cycles in which they need to change. So positive feedback has something to do with change. May I ask, what if your body goes out of balance? The blood chemistry you have goes out of balance. You eat too much. You do things too much. Abuse of body and unhealthy lifestyles can lead to chronic diseases, which are leading causes of death for majority of adults. Now, examples of those are diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and liver and kidney diseases. Usually, those diseases are caused by imbalances and abuse of the body. Diabetes is a disease where the body has not enough insulin. Even if it has insulin, it's not enough to regulate the blood sugar, leading to complications such as poisoning in the kidneys and bacterial infections, because bacteria love a very sweet and sugar-filled blood. Kidney and liver diseases are from mentioned overworked organs not being able to process the materials. They are not being able to process the body because they are already imbalanced from drinking too much alcohol, eating salty foods, and unhealthy lifestyle in general. Most of these diseases are directly related to malfunction of homeostasis in your body. And the good news is that they can always be prevented by having a balanced diet, healthy lifestyle, and living an active life. So I want to ask you students, are you living a balanced life? Deviation from homeostasis could eventually lead to harmful effects. But again, a healthy balance is what we need. Healthy stress, mental health, and moderation, according to Aristotle, is the key to a fulfilled life. Now, to summarize, homeostasis is the tendency to maintain internal stability. To achieve homeostasis, there are 3 parts of the feedback loop. After the stimuli, receptor, control center, and effectors. Positive feedback induces change, and negative feedback prevents change. Now, let us have a formative test for this time. Try to pause this video and check your knowledge of the things that we have learned in homeostasis. So answers will be revealed in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, this has been Teacher Gian, the presenter for the demo teaching video in Earth and Life Science, Homeostasis, Types and Components. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope the inputs were valuable in the long run. Thank you and have a nice day.